Hello, universe. Welcome to Off the Rails with Tom and Mark.
All right, welcome back, universe, to Off the Rails with Tom and Mark, episode 13, first ever 13th episode of season 2.
Coming to you live from the Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty Studio here in beautiful Grafton, Wisconsin.
And if you're looking to buy or sell a home or interested in a career in real estate, email Roy at cbhsr.com or give him a call, 414-235-0763. He'd love to be your go-to for all your real estate needs. And speaking of Roy was at Twisted Dreams 3 or 4 or 5 times last year.
Yeah.
He had a good time.
He was a good guy.
Yep. So we are back with the founding fathers of Twisted Dreams Film Festival, Chris and Steve. Thank you guys for coming back.
Oh, no Thanks problem. For having us.
Yeah, we didn't piss you off too much last year.
Not too much, no.
Bug you too much, yeah. Even though I got yelled at last year a little bit.
Yeah. What did you do?
I don't know if they want to share the story.
Fair enough.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's long gone.
Go ahead.
Yeah, everyone's over it.
Well,
now.
we had a lady who she kind of pretended to be part of Twisted Dreams to get Joe Bob Briggs to podcast with her.
Oh, that incident. Yeah,
that
sure.
incident.
Yeah.
And then Joe Bob Briggs wasn't going to podcast with our podcast that was at the festival.
Yeah.
So she picked him up and skated him. So Chris is like, I don't know, do what you want to do. So I sent him an email. And then Joe Bob was like, this guy's trying to strong arm me. And
yeah, it was.
I'm like,
we got this email like, yeah, I don't know who this guy is or what he's trying to. I'm like, all right.
But
it worked out. Joe Bob made time for everybody.
Yeah, we have since put it into our contracts that any visiting guest has to approve their media performance or appearances through us before they agree.
And that makes sense in general, because you don't want someone, let's say you had like a podcast that hated you or something, and you didn't want them trash talking you.
Right.
Well, this lady, she has like a Hollywood budget, but nobody wants to listen to her show.
She's got, I looked up her YouTube channel, and she's got like 25 subscribers. I can't figure out how she gets.
Well, then she'll get 3,000 to 5,000 views. So the night of her interview with Joe Bob Briggs, first of all, her interview sucked because she just made fun of him for his taste in bourbon the whole time and dissed him. And then...
Yeah, but women can do that.
There were like
that he'd punch me in the face.
7 people that night saw the video. The next day, she probably went to Fiverr and bought thousands of views.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have cost her, what, $5?
$5 to $10. So it's kind of weird.
We have some experience with Fiverr on the show.
Yeah.
On YouTube, though, if you get 3,000 or 4,000 views, that's only like 10 cents in AdSense revenue. You know, you're not going to make serious money until you hit 1 million views.
You have to get 10,000 views before they'll start putting ads on, because we are we are slowly approaching.
You have to have.
They put ads on ours now.
Well,
you'll have ads on yours from the get go. You just won't get any money from it.
Okay.
So we have to set that up so they can pay us.
Yeah, you have to have.
We didn't have it set up.
Oh, you did set it up? Okay.
Yeah.
I started setting up, but then in true Mark fashion, I wandered off halfway through.
No, we're set up to get paid. We're just not getting paid. But
it'll take a while.
Well, it has to be a whole penny before you can withdraw.
No. With AdSense, you have to make $100. They have to have $100 in your account before you can withdraw.
Okay.
You can only withdraw at $100.
They don't want someone withdrawing $15 all the time.
Right.
But I just think it's funny that she's spending all this money and still no one is watching.
Well, I mean, we started at the bottom too.
Yeah, but she has a Hollywood budget. She showed up with a limo for Joe Bob and rented out a room in a hotel room.
Maybe that was her gambit. She put all her resources into this one big guest.
Yeah. Well, she has like Hollywood connections. I don't get it because she had Gilbert Gottfried ask a question to Joe Bob live on the show.
Nice.
And it was like, how are you getting all these big name people and only 7 people are watching your show?
That's who you know.
Yeah.
That's all who you know.
Yeah. We should get to know her.
I guess.
Bury the hatchet. Have her on.
According to her,
on the show.
According to what she told Joe Bob, she knows all of us. She's in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even listen to that show, so I didn't even know what
we listened to it on the way home at the last night. So, all right. Today, we got Chris and Steve, the founders of Twisted Dream Film Festival, Wisconsin's largest horror film festival. Before we get in an interview, we talk about Super Bowl concession prices. That's a tough one. Companies cashing in on Valentine's Day hate, Facebook changing its stance, a German fooling Google Maps, the Oscars, Netflix spending campaign, porn leads the way in Hollywood, and Hollywood follows. But first, let's put these gentlemen on
It's the hot seat! Whoa, yeah! It's the hot seat! Hot seat! The hot seat will drop it off the rails!
Well, you guys have really upped your You've upped your game since last time here.
If you want that, we can put it on your phone so you can
My
listen to it in your
God.
car when you drive home.
Anytime I call, it's going to be that.
It's getting a little warm. Let's go.
What's the weirdest thing you heard people say about you? They didn't know you were listening.
The weirdest thing. There's a lot of things people would probably say about me.
Something that you heard.
I don't know. I can't really think of anything too weird.
What are the reactions when people discover you're associated with this horror film festival?
Well,
Like, what did
my
grandma-
mother-in-law
yeah.
hates me.
Okay.
My
Because-
wife can
because
attest
of
to
the horror
that.
movies?
She doesn't like movies in general.
Oh, well, then
Is
you got
she
nothing
Amish?
to talk about.
She's a knitter. She makes quilts. She doesn't
Okay.
like films. She doesn't like movies. She doesn't like TV. She doesn't like video games. I'm like the Antichrist to her.
Okay.
So I like all of the above.
Huh.
Okay.
There's a lot of fun like knitting channels on YouTube we could get her into.
Now I'm getting the evil eye.
She cannot.
She's not listening. Quilting,
Oh,
and
it's
quilting and
quilting.
not knitting.
World
There's a
of
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a horror and thriller, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We can have her quilt something for the festival. You know.
Ooh, a tapestry.
Would
Yeah,
you
we-
quilt a tapestry for us?
Twisted Dreams.
Maybe next year.
We can have her as a vendor. She can sell stuff. You know.
The official quilter.
The official quilter.
Twisted Dreams.
We need one of those.
They have the heavy metal quilting in Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There we go.
that'd be a good performance for
That'd be awesome.
Would your mom want to put on a performance?
Heavy metal quilting? No.
Heavy metal
Yeah, you
quilting?
can get Rat
Live
Pack Spider to
quilting. We'll get
play.
her up on stage
Bang her head.
to the hot seat song.
Excellent. What are some things that sound like compliments but are really insults? I get, you look good today, I always think.
Yeah.
It's like, is that, I think women do that a lot more than guys. Insulting compliments.
I love how you just wear anything.
Yeah.
Boy, you smell good today.
Okay.
But I don't smell good every day? What?
Yeah.
I get all self-conscious when somebody hands me a piece of gum.
Oh.
Why?
What?
Why do I need this?
I did have raw beef and onions for lunch.
The normal. Who brings that to a work lunch?
I had a boss who hated it when I would say no problem.
No problem.
Because I guess the implication was if it was a problem, I wouldn't do it.
Bathroom's overflowing. No problem. Be on the floor. That's where everything's going anyway.
Right.
All right. Do you think Captain Hook had that name before he lost his hand?
Well, he was originally Private Hook and then Lieutenant Hook.
Okay.
I
So-
don't know when he made Captain.
But he's always been Hook. Even before he lost
So
his
is that
hand.
just irony? He's always been Hook, and then it was just funny that
He lost his hand.
Sure,
and
it's
he's like,
ironic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like our friend John Clunk, who lost his leg.
He lost his leg?
Yeah, Molly thought that we were making
I
fun
thought
of him.
Clunk was his nickname. Everyone calls him Clunk. I thought that was his nickname because
He's a one-legged guy.
he's got one leg.
But no,
Interesting.
that's his actual last name. So
So yeah, I think when he lost his hand, he had to go with a hook because what else you can do?
I wonder if he was hooked before that, though.
Because if that wasn't his name, like, who has the balls to call him Captain Hook for the first time?
Before asking this question, did you look it up on Wikipedia? Because I'm sure Captain Hook has a Wikipedia page. He probably has his full name. Francis Javier Hook.
Wiki
Hookenstein.
Disney. Sure, there's a Wiki Disney about it or something.
I bet you his original name was something like real, just goofy.
It's a fictional character, right?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to look that up. We'll
We
get you
should
another
we
question.
should write the origin story.
I'm gonna say someone's gonna.
We can make him a little like lieutenant, make him like a 6-year-old kid on like a British ship. That's how he starts his descent into madness, like Breaking Bad style.
Hook was not his true name.
Oh no! Oh
There
wow.
you
To
go.
reveal
There's your
who he
answer.
really was would even at this date set the country in a blaze.
Oh.
He's said to be Blackbeard's bosun.
There you go.
Oh no! That would just mean he's served with Blackbeard.
Long John Silver goes by the name Barbecue.
What?
Barbacoa, right?
It says, I don't know, barbecue.
Huh. Okay. Wikipedia is never wrong.
No,
Everyone knows the
No.
internet is
So
proof.
they're not giving his real name.
But Hook's not his real name.
Hook's not his real name.
I think the implication is, maybe he's like a royal or something
But yeah,
to make
now
his character more interesting.
they're never going to tell you his real name now.
When I was a kid, it blew my mind watching Hook when I realized that Jason Isaacs played the dad and Hook.
Whoa.
Was it Jason Isaacs? I think it was Jason Isaacs.
Yep.
Did you guys have bachelor parties?
I did not know.
I've been married twice. The first time I did have a bachelor party.
Okay.
I didn't have a bachelor party with you, did I?
Well, she's not supposed to be there.
Well, she would know. She would send me away.
She
No,
knows.
I didn't, did I? Oh, I did not. First time I did, yeah.
Okay.
I had a bachelor party.
Yep.
You didn't come, or
I
did
didn't.
you?
No,
you didn't.
Something was going on that weekend.
Well, I made the mistake of, like, I'm going to have a cool party. We're going to go do a sleepover somewhere.
Yeah.
We went up to my brother-in-law's cabin up north and,
Yeah.
and just crashed there, drank, and played games all night.
How many friends on Facebook could you delete and not notice any difference in your life?
All of them.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
All right. You are granted the gift to write one new law that everyone has to obey. What law would you make for society?
Oh, wow. That's a deep one.
Everybody in the country?
Yep.
You have to give me $1.
You have to get. There
Just
you
a
go.
dollar.
That's what you're going to use your power for.
Just $1. It's not a lot. Everybody's got to
That's
give me
good
$1.
law. Wow. 360
The
million?
Chris tax.
That's what it is.
I would do individually painted car parking spaces. Individual cars versus, like, just the brackets on the end. Because then people always park inefficiently, and there's one less space for everyone.
Okay.
I'm guessing we've got Joe from Utterly Insane. He says he got married in Vegas, no party, 10 years ago next Friday. Happy anniversary
If
early.
you're in
Happy
Vegas,
anniversary.
that's a party, dude.
Yeah.
My friends took me to, we went to a bunch of places. We went to one, the first place we went was this strip club in West Dallas, which should give you about a first clue on how that was. It was just the nastiest place.
That's a
These
dirty
women-
secret about strip clubs is they're not as cool as they are in those HBO television
No,
shows.
well, especially in West Dallas. I don't know if you're familiar with West Dallas, but it was,
Dirty Dallas.
yeah. Ironically, we're filming our film, Drunk in the Dead. We're filming it in West Dallas. We're working with the West Dallas
Strip club?
government. Not at a strip club, but at a bar in
Are
West
you going to
Dallas.
use the firmatorium there?
We might.
Okay, because
We
I
might.
have connections with Maggie from the firmatorium.
Okay. Yeah, we contacted the alderman in West Dallas, and he's really excited. They're trying to get away from the whole Dirty Dallas look.
Yeah.
So
It's like
they're
a film
excited
zombie
about
movie.
yeah, they're excited about
The
trying
Drunk and the
to
Dead.
trying to change the image. So
Oh, that
We can get away from dirty cells, so just everyone will be drunk.
yeah,
So much better.
Bloody Dallas.
a pet peeve that you have that you wish you could get rid of. For example, when people are late, I take it a little too personally. Like, what is more important than me? Why are you late?
yeah. I'm competitive to a fault.
Competitive?
I'm too competitive to a fault.
Okay. Yeah, me too. When I beat my nephew in chess the other day and I ripped my shirt off and flexed in his face.
How old is
How
your
old is he?
nephew?
Like 12.
And how old are you?
12.
Yeah, you can almost cube that.
He doesn't like games that are too like random either. Because
Chess is not random.
No,
Like-
games
No,
of
chess
chance.
is very not random.
No, like apples to apples. He hates because
Yeah.
it's too random for him.
Chance.
He's like,
Well, it's
Shoots and ladders.
my
suck.
answer was better.
Yeah.
my apple was objectively
This game is
better in
stupid.
every conceivable way.
You didn't pick mine.
I guess one of my pet peeves is working at a movie theater. You guys may have experienced this at the festival. Movie's over, people are leaving, people walk through the exit door into the lobby and just stop.
Yeah,
And there's people behind them,
Yep.
and it's like I just want to start throwing things at them.
with our our theater is so small. That the lobby
Yeah, and you
is
got the
just
curtains.
so small. Yeah, people they'll come out and they'll start chatting with other people
Mhm.
and cause a roadblock. It's like
Yeah. Sorry, guys, we got to
Go
keep
on.
this train moving.
Yeah.
How about when the
Out.
plane stops, everybody stands up and gets in line, and you got at least 10 minutes before they're even opening the door. What are you
doesn't bug me,
standing
'cause
for?
They're
I'm just sitting
jockeying
there
for
watching
their
them
spot
going.
in the queue.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's like the front gets off first. Even if I sit here, I'm still cutting in. I'm going to box you out, dude. I got the elbow
Well,
in
you
the...
could probably plow through that old lady. You could
Right.
probably push aside that kid.
Yep. All right. This is a repeat, but I like this one. If I dropped off a pygmy elephant by you and the police said there's nothing they can do, it's your problem now, what would you do with it?
Well, I would charge admission to see it.
Yeah?
There you go.
Why
So
not?
just put it in the backyard, play with it.
Open a zoo.
Is it endangered?
I don't know.
Can I have pygmy steaks?
I was just gonna say, I wonder what
Pygmy
elephant tastes
elephant
like.
steaks?
Yeah.
All about making money, as you can tell.
Yeah, there you go. You could do
Yeah, I
a
don't know
lot
how
with a
good
pygmy
elephants
elephant.
taste.
I'd try elephant.
Yeah. You,
What if they were awesome?
Yeah.
Now I'm going
Did they
to...
You could never go back.
Crap.
do they eat the grass so I don't have to mow the lawn anymore?
Oh, they leave big piles at that. Even
Oh,
though
yeah.
it's a pygmy, it's
Yeah,
still
then you
bigger
gotta
than the
pick up
couch.
elephant poop.
yeah.
He's gonna eat all your 4-foot-tall trees.
Autonomic cars. You for them or
Autonomic?
Autonomic cars.
Auto-
Cars that drive themselves.
Okay.
Auto driver car.
Gotcha,
You for them or
gotcha.
do you need to be in control?
I could care less.
You don't care?
Bring it on. It's coming anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well embrace it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to see how it goes. I mean, it's a great idea.
You don't want to be the first.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be there. But
I trust the technology. I know, like 2 people have died.
A bunch of people. Some trucks have gone out of control.
Okay, but the reality is, someone dies in a car every 30 seconds.
right.
Yeah.
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 With regular driving.
no, right.
So-
You gotta think if it's safe. If they have a lot of safety features, it could be.
There's
safe.
a lot
it could
of
almost
people
be safer.
that you should be able to vote on their license plate. If they have to have a car like that, like, okay, you're done,
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
You
it'd
just
be,
crossed 4 lanes of traffic without a turn signal.
it'd be nice for combating drunk driving.
That's
'cause we could all go out, get sloshed, and then just have our car drive us home safely.
Didn't someone get pulled over for that in California? They were sleeping in their auto driving car, and I'm like,
I've heard
Why
you
not?
can't sleep. You've got to have your hands like
Yeah.
on the wheel at all times.
In a
or
Tesla,
it's-
you got to touch it.
oh.
Okay.
But you could just get like some.
I mean, I can
What would
fall
that
asleep. I can fall asleep
what would that do to drunk driving laws? If all cars were autonomous, would we have drunk
Yeah.
driving laws?
You would have to, because what if
I
something
think you would
shuts
have
down?
to.
or
You
breaks
still
down?
have to
You
be
still
able to
have
be.
Oh yeah, I suppose
in
someone still has
control
to
of
be
it.
the co-pilot or whatever.
I just don't like that somebody can hack your car and then, like, just press the button that says
Stop.
parallel park. So you're on a bridge and it just cranks the wheel to the side.
That's
Utterly,
a great idea for a movie. Just some random terrorists going around taking over autonomous cars.
Yep. hit
utterly
parallel park.
insane says, but then you have the option of those cars being hacked remotely. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've heard that most of the deaths or injuries with these automatic cars have been from outside, like, from other people hitting them.
There you go.
So they're saying it's the other person's fault.
It's the people's
What
fault.
a
Right.
surprise!
Like if all of the cars were automated, there wouldn't be the accidents.
Well, what about the
or
country
from like
roads?
roads not having the lines painted on them?
where you get a
Yeah.
cyclist and you
Teslas
have
need
to
them.
give them extra room, and then the car wants to correct you because you're swerving?
Yeah.
Do they account for the bike
Oh, I
that
don't know.
shouldn't be on my country?
If they don't now, they will one day, I'm sure.
I know they look at the lines, and sometimes
Yeah.
if the lines aren't painted on there right, or
Well, how about the black
Probably in the
ice
snow.
and stuff?
what about in snow?
Yeah, in winter, I've seen people walking on the road because they don't want to walk on the unshoveled sidewalk. It's like, you're in the road in bad weather. Which
Yeah.
do you think is more dangerous?
But you have dry feet, I guess. All right, this is specifically for the Twisted Dream guys.
All right. No
Uh,
butting in, Mark.
Mount Rushmore of horror film directors.
Ooh,
Top 4.
it's a tough one.
We'll definitely got to put John Carpenter up there.
Say John.
Okay.
I would put Wes Craven.
I was gonna say Wes Craven, Hitchcock.
Yep,
You
Hitchcock
have to
for
have
sure.
Hitchcock on there.
And Lloyd Kaufman.
He's a good director. I don't know if I'd put him on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
George
Um,
Romero, I think.
Probably,
have to be on there.
Probably
probably George Romero.
Yeah.
That's a good list. Excellent.
Your ma says that the automated cars would stop road rage. I don't know, would they?
Would the
You'd
computer
still
get
be-
mad?
The computer might get mad, but then the person in the car is still going to be in there and just have be able to flip everyone off and do whatever.
All right.
Clive Barker says
Oh,
other
Clive
Sure,
Barker.
sure.
That's a good one.
I might call you on Romero because, yeah, sure, he created
come
the
on.
zombie, but have you seen his latest movies?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
they're not that great.
Yeah.
But he created a whole genre.
Yes, he did.
So I mean, it's kind of
Yeah, he's a founding father, but he's the founding father who's went crazy.
Well,
That's all right. He gets it. You can phone it in now. All right. Announcements. Twisted Dreams Film Festival, April 16th to the 19th at the Times Cinema. We'll be getting deep into that soon. Just Time Cinema. I know you were thinking about.
Expanding?
we're still working on
possibly
Iron out the
Oriental.
details. Hopefully, maybe get to the Avalon.
Avalon? Okay.
Very cool.
Well, we'll keep you up. Mark, we're going to be partnering up with the Chinooks minor league baseball team.
Okay.
They'll be giving us tickets for giveaways.
Sweet.
We're going to do a live podcast at their press box, interview some coaches, players. I know Bob Euchre and Robin Yount own the team, so that'll be cool.
Awesome.
Might have some people here in the studio.
There's a guy down the street of me who looks like Robin Yount.
He doesn't be him.
It's not I know who he is, but he looks like him.
Okay. Destination Dino Liam Comedy Night info. It is going to be May 9th here at the North Shore Academy of the Arts.
Awesome.
We are looking to get at least 15 performers. I'm
Do you have any
working it
official
out with
performers who've made the cut yet, or are you still
yes,
working
but
on
that list is at home.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm doing Drunk Medical Stories. It's a new podcast. I'm co-hosting with Terry Scott. Check us out. First episode will be released on Monday, and then I will bombard the hell out of you guys with that.
Sweet.
So it's a lot of fun. I get to kind of nerd out with some of my medical knowledge, and we talk about, our first episode was all about vaginas. Now our next episode is called How Are You Not Dead? So
You're not going to go right to the penis?
Yeah, I was going to say, what
Vaginas?
about the penis episode?
well, she had a couple other co-hosts that didn't realize how much work is involved.
They blew their penis wad?
Yeah, so they had a penis. They had a penis episode already, but I got eased into my first one as a vagina.
Like a
Pop my
gentleman.
cherry with a vagina episode. It's very, very funny. So, Super Bowl concession prices. People are getting really pissed off about this.
I'm going to guess $30 for nachos.
Ooh, might be a little high. Nachos are $9.
Okay.
Chicken
Yeah.
sandwich is 14. A hot dog is 12. No,
That's-
$12 for a hot dog.
This is shockingly reasonable.
I meant to say that.
I was going to say, yeah, that's not
If
that's
you
not
were-
crazy.
Okay, nachos are $9, but cheese is $3 extra.
Still $12. I thought it was going to be insane.
but
like-
how is it
like
nachos
20,
without
30
cheese?
bucks.
Yeah,
Some
it's
people
just
just want the chips.
chips.
Maybe they brought their own salsa.
How much is it at
Yeah,
Middle
that's
Park
just
now? I
chips.
don't even know.
That's
Or
not
whatever Middle
nachos.
Park's called now.
I was at the Pfizer Forum, and booze was like, I think the cheapest beer was $12 or $11. So you just assume you're going to a sporting event of any kind.
It's expensive.
Yeah, and nothing's going to be under $10 unless it's
32
alcohol
ounce
free.
soda is $15, but you get free refills.
But if you were in downtown Chicago and you go walk into a fancy restaurant, burger might cost you $20. It'll be a nicer burger.
Mhm.
Sorry, Super Bowl Stadium, but
Cocktail is $18. A double is $6 more, so people were getting the doubles.
yeah, I think cocktails at the Pfizer were
$24
in the
for a
teens.
drink? I don't know. I had more fun at just hanging out at home doing what we wanted.
We made
Yeah.
so much food.
My, the cocktails at my dad's wet bar were free. So
It's the Super Bowl, though. How much are tickets? People can afford it.
$1,500 is the lowest.
Yeah, people can afford it.
$1,500 for a ticket?
That's the lowest. That is your nosebleed.
You've got to be
but what's
kidding
going to
me.
happen when they start having like droves of empty seats at the Super Bowl?
Well, then they'll start coming down.
I think companies buy them up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much you're getting there from. There's not a lot of people buying them, so.
All right.
Well, they said in Miami now, is it like the smallest attendance or second smallest attendance in any Super Bowl this year?
Oh wow.
It's just because they shrunk the stadium. So
You guys
much.
would say, do they shrink luxury seats with
So
more
it was
leg
still-
room
yeah,
and
it
more
was-
armchairs?
It was
And
still a sellout, but it's just because it was so.
So this week we're coming up on Valentine's Day. Companies are now cashing in on people's hatred of their ex.
oh, let it go, universe.
I saw one article, and then a bunch of other companies jumped on board. So this is paying tribute to your ex. The Center of Wildlife Care is giving you a chance to donate to the local bat populations and name a mealworm after your ex, and then you can watch them eat it.
I mean,
Yeah, how
that's-
much did they charge for
That's
that?
charity.
$45.
It's just a way for
You
people
get
to
a
make money.
personalized video clip of Betsy eating your worm.
I wouldn't get anything out of that.
You wouldn't?
I don't know. I just let it go, universe.
San Diego Zoo.
She's
is
with
on
someone
it.
else. They're happy. You're doing fine.
At least
Move
for,
on.
Like at least a zoo or
Yeah, I mean,
for a good cause.
The bats are benefiting, but you could just give that money to the zoo.
You could.
You could.
Why not get something out of it?
Give me a hat or a T-shirt that said "I fed the bat." I don't know.
San Diego Zoo is feeding cockroaches or rats that you get the name after your ex.
This is like buying a star or land on the spot on the moon. It's like, is it really? Or they shoot one video of a maggot being eaten by a bat, and they send that out to 100 different people and say, "This is your ex."
Yep. We got another one. Burger King's getting in on it. There's certain Burger Kings around the country that if you bring in a picture of your ex, you can get a free Whopper.
Okay.
There you go, Molly. Nope, something was happening with Steve's microphone, so I was going to say something, but Molly is off of it, on it. But except for Domino's, Domino's is now offering a $9,000, check it out, Molly, you'll have to get my computer screen up, a pizza engagement ring. How much do you love Domino's?
Not that much.
Not that much?
My brother-in-law works for Domino's, but my mic is dead.
Your mic is dead now, too.
Okay.
How's that?
I assumed Molly just cut my mic for reasons. No one's listening to Mark.
God damn it, Molly, make this shit work. All right. Diamond pizza slice engagement ring. Molly, would you like that? She doesn't have a mic. I like how we're just going. Yeah.
No.
What if it was a chicken man bucket, Mike? Or
Chicken man
No.
bucket.
oh, engagement ring. Oh, come on. I think
Tom,
that's
I can't see you giving Molly an engagement ring.
going to be tough. Here's a big piece of charcoal.
You're spending all
It's
your money on
not-
mic stands. What are you talking about?
I know. Obviously, we're having mic problems too. So go to our Patreon page. Universe.
So, do you guys have any Valentine's Day traditions? You're obviously Halloween enthusiasts with the horror movies. What other traditions do you have?
None. I don't do anything.
I do my taxes on
not
Valentine's
Do
really.
Day.
you? Well, that's
Romantic?
that's very romantic for
Get a bottle of wine, do some deductions.
Yep.
Celebrate the kids. Be like, thanks for the tax deduction.
Yeah.
What is this? No, I can't read.
All right. So Facebook is changing its stance. They're no longer going to be filtering through hateful speech comments anymore. They're just giving up on it.
There's millions of them every hour, probably.
Utterly Insane says Domino's is like eating cardboard. And one Miss Barbara Klein says, just buy defective condoms. I don't know what your mom's talking about, but
I don't either.
perhaps the engagement.
Okay. Buy defective condoms.
Nothing gets an
Hey, you
engagement
got
ring
any
out of
broke
Tom
condoms
like
in the back there?
defective
Some
condoms.
cheap throwaways?
Barbara might have some.
You can make them defective, Mom.
I saw a picture. Some college was giving out free condoms, and they put them on the tack board there with pins in them.
I love Free Balloon Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Have you guys felt Facebook take any of your stuff down?
I've had it happen a few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, we've had some ads rejected, like that we've tried to boost.
Yeah, we've had those.
but we
The
haven't had.
Jonathan Wachalla ad. We said he was improv comedian and actor, and Facebook wouldn't post it because they said we can't make assumptions.
He
about him.
doesn't have an IMDb page.
Like, I think he does. Ron's pretty good about that, so I think he does. But yeah, they said we can't make assumptions about people, so they wouldn't let us.
We can't
when you talk to him and he says that, and you're like, no, I can't.
Dude, don't make assumptions about yourself.
We can't use declarative statements from that person as evidence.
Yep. I thought that was. I don't know. We're gonna see. There's gonna be a new change in Facebook. Now here, I like the Germans. This guy is hilarious. He's doing a prank on Google Maps. So what he does is he has a wagon full of old cell phones, all linked to Google Maps. So he walks down the road, and since everybody is using Google Maps, it says there's a traffic jam in that spot. And then they reroute everybody.
Not usually a big fan of pranks, but it's awesome.
That is. So Google's trying to find a way to combat that.
Hello, Tom. Can I
Did you
borrow
hear about
your
that guy
phone?
that just on the plane? He said he did a prank. He said, "Yeah, I just got back from Wuhan and I'm not feeling so good, guys." And the plane turned around.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I did read that story.
You know, never joke on a plane.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
no.
going to joke about a bomb in the TSA. Like, no,
Yeah.
no, do not do that.
Yep.
Just take your sleeping medication and try to get some rest. Just drug yourself. That's the best thing you can do.
That's the best way to get Wuhan into America.
Just sit there and drool. staring out the window. I thought this was hilarious. He got 99 secondhand smartphones and he pulls them around in a wagon. Oh, just to fuck with Google Maps. That's great. So now they don't know how to combat that because that's like their strategy on how to. If a bunch of people are in a traffic jam and they're hooked to Google Maps, that's how they kind of put the red area and reroute people.
But how many times is that going to happen? How many times is some guy going to get 100 smartphones and put them in a wagon and
Well, maybe
turn
he's
them around?
trying to sell secondhand smartphones.
Maybe. Carrying them around in a
Get
wagon.
your phones here. Secondhand phones.
All right, now let's get into some movie stuff before we do this interview here. Netflix is. I want to know what you guys thought about this. They are spending big advertising for the award show.
Well, they got 2 contenders in Best Picture.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's money well spent. I mean, those are excellent movies.
Okay, I have to buy to read the full story.
We can talk about the Oscar nominees later.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're getting into that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Basically, with the streaming wars that's happening, do you think they're trying to spend enough to make the other people follow suit and waste their money
No.
as a way
No,
to
I don't.
win?
I don't think they'll do that.
You don't
I think that this is they're advertising to promote themselves, not to.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Amazon Prime had a movie, I forget, I think Moonlight was like, maybe not an Amazon original, but, you know, it was on Amazon Prime when it was nominated and won. So, I mean, they're just kind of playing the game. That's how the game's played. So, I don't think.
So how do you feel about the streaming originals?
Well, I think Netflix is trying to stay relevant as CBS and NBC and ABC, all these people launch their own separate apps, pulling content away from Netflix.
Right.
They need to be known for something other because they can't have Office reruns forever. Is that even still on Netflix?
Yep.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Friends
they're
is off, though. I know Friends is
yeah,
gone.
they're losing these shows
Right.
that are some of their most watched shows that are old. So now they're trying to make new content, have a name for themselves.
Yeah. The Office is actually the most watched thing on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And if that gets pulled, they got to have something else.
Yep. Yep.
So,
I mean, the originals that they've had have been just fantastic. You know, they've been amazing.
well, Picard just came out, CBS All Access.
Yep.
So now we're
I'm
looking
all-
at our monthly bills thinking, I want to watch Picard,
It's crazy.
but I don't want to pay the extra
That's the only
$10.
thing I would watch on CBS.
Yep.
All
It's a good
Access.
show too.
And
I'm all caught up
not
on
like
it.
you can just use a VPN to fake it that you're in Britain and watch it on Amazon Prime. Wink, wink, universe. Molly, what are you doing? Molly's getting a new mic because of the mic issues.
Okay. All right. Well, here's another story. Pornhub now is leading the way. A lot of times, like, porn will take a chance and then Hollywood will follow suit. So what porn has now, the AI in the porn industry is able to create
Oh, the deepfake stuff.
deep fake, not real people.
Well, the deepfakes I've seen in my research for the show, which is the reason why I was on Pornhub, is they take an actual pornographic actor or actress and they replace the head with some famous actress's head. So unless they're going to do full body
That's what
fakes,
they're,
these are just body doubles situations.
96% of all deep fakes are pornographic.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Are being used to harass and terrorize women. So they're taking Molly and putting her in a porn.
Sweet.
There's a not that I know I've tried this, but there's a program out there called Deep Nude,
Okay.
where you can take a picture of a woman and put a naked body on her. It's like a deep fake for photographs.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
It extrapolates what it expects the person
right.
looks like,
Yep.
based on its library of titties.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't believe anything out there anymore.
No.
So do you think Hollywood, because they've been dabbling in this a little bit, are they going to start getting rid of actors?
Are you going to see resurrected actors?
Well, I've been a big advocate for them to use this deepfake technology. I mean, look at Rogue One, where they brought back Peter Cushing as you know. I think if they did a deepfake, that would have been much better. So I've been really an advocate for this technology to be used in films.
I still think there's an uncanny valley because when I'm looking at
There
Peter
is, yeah.
Cushing, it's like
There is. They didn't
doesn't
quite.
feel
They
right.
didn't quite get that. They didn't quite get it. Like, you know, the mouth movements and lip movements. They just didn't get it. And the Carrie Fisher, the younger Carrie Fisher, at the end of it, didn't quite get it. But I think if they perfected this deepfake technology, it'd be much better.
And I think that technology is actually getting better, as you saw in Irishman. You know,
Yeah.
Mark didn't like that one. I didn't.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't like the use. I think that Smart Hulk was more believable than
Oh,
young
really?
Robert De Niro.
Really?
He's like young Robert De Niro. He's still hunched over like
He's
an
still-
old man.
When he was
Yeah.
kicking the
Still
guy
walking
Still
outside
like
the
an old
shimmying
grocery
around.
store, he was kicking him like an old man.
But that's procedural. You could have, in theory, gotten a body double and
Right.
put Robert De Niro's face on it.
Right.
Which they should have.
Yeah, they could have done that, but they were trying. I think the idea was to capture everything about this man's performance and then
Right.
just change his face. But yeah, I couldn't get past the de-aging. It bothered me.
Did it? It didn't bother me at all. I had no
It
issue.
was weird.
I think the 4 hours of nothing happening bothered me more.
I love that movie. I love The Irishman.
Yeah?
I did,
Do you like
yeah.
mob movies?
I do. I really do, and especially Martin Scorsese mob movies.
All right. Other than the Godfather films, what's the best?
Oh,
mob
Goodfellas.
movie? Okay.
Hands down,
Yeah.
Goodfellas. Yeah.
Never seen Goodfellas.
You've never
Wow.
seen Goodfellas? Wow. That you should treat yourself one day, man. Treat
Well,
yourself.
Yeah, we
Right.
just watched the end of it the other
It's
day.
good.
It was on.
But where is the line with those deep fakes too? Like, especially when you're talking about putting in an actor that has passed away or something like that. Like, does that get like a little bit?
Well,
It does. I mean, yeah. If you're doing, you should have permission to
Yeah.
use their face.
What if you
know?
want
Yeah.
Tom Cruise to do a naked movie in The Drunk and the Dead? Can you
Right.
just take a
Yeah, that's where I would say the line would be.
Yeah,
crossed.
the line gets a little blurry.
Lena
there.
As much as I'd
Headley.
love to have Tom Cruise naked in my movie, I don't think that.
In Game of Thrones, Lena Headley had a body double for her famous naked walk.
Yeah, so did Amelia Clark was nude in the
That
early
was- yeah,
seasons, but
early
then
seasons, but then
towards
once
the end,
once she learned how to negotiate,
she was a star.
contracts,
She's like,
yeah.
I'm not showing my body.
But they should have done a body double for that. But instead, they just had her clothed, standing in a burning building. But her clothes should burn off.
Yeah, but that happens a lot in Hollywood body
I
doubles. for
understand.
nudity.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, even I remember the
Good for her.
the Pretty Woman, the poster for the Pretty Woman with Julie Roberts. Like that's not her body in the poster.
Oh, really?
That was a big thing. It was a photo, well, not Photoshop, but her face was put on another model's body.
I see a lot
that's
of
the
movie
posters.
posters. Yeah, but they Photoshop like the bags away from like Vince Vaughn's eyes or
Yeah,
something, and then
yeah.
he stops looking like Vince Vaughn because that's such
Yeah.
a definitive feature of his person.
Yep. Well, that's so prevalent on Facebook now. You see these women's posts, and all you see is like blur and
Yeah.
eyeballs and like beige blur.
It's like the Snapchat filters too.
Right.
You don't have
Yep.
to Photoshop it even. Everyone's just
Exactly.
like filtering their pictures.
And all you're doing is setting people up for disappointment
right.
when they meet you in real life.
Yeah.
I go, oh, you're covered in acne scars.
That's not your Facebook profile.
Yeah.
You had milk skin.
Did you guys want to run through the
Utter-
Oscars a little bit?
Utterly Insane says Goodfellas is a really good mob film.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. You got
It
check
is
it out,
good.
man.
all right.
You want to do a little Oscars before
Sure.
we get into this interview?
My,
Just
I
'cause-
got to give you this phone back.
Okay.
Huzzah.
I've
So,
got mine over here.
Every year I try to watch all the best picture nominees.
Yep.
This year is no different, except I didn't finish them all. We were just talking about.
Some of them.
There were two I didn't finish. Obviously, The Irishman. What do you think was the other one I didn't finish?
Marriage Story.
No, I loved Marriage Story.
Oh, okay.
Little Women.
Little Women.
Couldn't finish it. But I felt
That was
like
my least favorite of the nominations.
I agree. And my wife, who loved the Winona Ryder Little Women,
Yeah.
hated this new one.
Really?
So this isn't just me being a man, be like, this is a dumb movie because it's
Yeah.
about girls. It's just not that good of a movie.
Surprised me that it got a nomination.
Well, this is the first year where I'm looking at the field and I'm like, I kind of want to see all these movies.
Yeah.
Usually, there's a half of them that I'm not interested in, and half the reason I like to watch all of them is usually one of those ends up surprising me and being a great movie. So it's a
Yeah.
great way to
Right.
watch top tier films that I wouldn't otherwise watch.
Okay.
But this year I wanted to see everything, but there wasn't like there weren't many women movies. There weren't like Green Book, African American type movies. I was kind of shocked by the sameness and boringness of the movies in the sense that
Yep.
they all appealed to me. They all appeal to my demographic.
I was
It's
wondering.
There should be more diversity
I
here.
was wondering what the hashtag was going to be this year. Like, Oscar so white, Oscar
Yeah,
so male,
Oscar
Oscar,
so-
so diverse, Oscar not diverse. What's the hashtag going to be this year?
Oscar Almost So White. I think it was what it was.
Almost.
Almost. There was two people of color nominated in the actors.
Okay.
Well, that
So it's-
evens it out, right?
Sure. But yeah. I mean, lots of snubs but we can get into
So,
that.
the first one I watched was The Joker. Did everybody see The Joker?
Yep.
Saw the Joker.
Fabulous movie.
I
Yep.
loved it.
I loved it too.
I'm assuming everyone in the universe saw it, but just real quick, it's basically a movie about a man descending into mental illness after he's cut off, and he slowly evolves into the Joker. And then around him, there's this social movement that kind of bumps in there that he doesn't really have anything to do with.
Or is it? Or was it all in his head?
Well, see,
There
and
is
that's the thing.
that.
I have a lot. I didn't probably love it as Joker as much as everyone else, but
I was surprised it was nominated.
right. I was surprised it was nominated as much as it was.
Mhm.
I mean, it's I mean, the performance, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, there's no questioning his performance is great. But yeah, no, it was a good movie. I think it could have been more interesting if it wasn't in the Batman universe.
Because do you consider this a superhero movie?
No, I don't. I mean, but I think it would have been better if it was just removed entirely from it, because then it would have just been a story about a man descending into
Just a
madness.
crazy man who like clowns.
Because like I think Molly was saying earlier, it's like, oh, you know, he's going to turn into Joker, but like, what if we didn't know? What if it was just unknown? We didn't know where he was going, and it just ended. Because now it's like, well, now at the ending, you assume that he's the Joker, and like, you know, it wasn't all in his head. But to me, I'm watching him like Dan. I'm like, this seemed to be all in his head. But now, like, if you're like, oh, he's the Joker, so it can't be, you know. So I feel like it took me out of it. Like, it just having it set in the Joker universe was kind of weird to me, like in the Batman universe. But,
Okay.
There's a theory going around that the whole thing wasn't actually in the Joker universe, that the guy, Arthur Fleck, whatever his name would really be, is just imagining that he's in the Joker universe, that it's all in his head, that he's, you know, he killed Bruce Wayne's, or his movement killed Bruce Wayne's parents, and then, you know, he's imagining that he's part of that universe.
Putting himself at the center of this fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a side question. We'll go around the table. Who's your favorite Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to be the guy in the room and go with Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill?
The animated series?
He's up there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
he is.
You don't like the Cesar Romero?
No, it was fun when I was a kid.
Right.
But yeah, Heath Ledger is obviously a shoe-in. One of the best Jokers. Probably, I'm going to say, going forward of all time.
Yeah.
I'm just so partial to the animated series. It was such a
They're
part
all
of
so
my
different.
youth.
All the Joker performances are
Right.
completely different
Yeah.
from each other. I mean, how amazing would it be if Joaquin Phoenix won for Best Actor? That's two actors that won an Academy Award for the same role.
Mhm.
You know, for a comic book role, no less.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be impressive. Now I'm rooting for him.
to get into the head of that character and to portray it.
It's
You
a
know.
great
Yeah.
character.
Right.
And did anyone else notice that the night the Wayans died, they were seeing Zorro the Gay Blade?
They're all the-
Utterly insane, says Nicholson.
Nicholson?
I think that
Doesn't hold up. I just
those-
watched the old.
Well,
in the comic books, the original story, they were going to see Zorro. So
Okay.
they're going to see the updated
A
version of
Zorro.
Zorro. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the problem with the Jack Nicholson and those movies is that like that was the best Batman for so long,
Yeah.
and then we got the Christopher Nolan movies, and those just knocked him out of the water. And I don't feel like I ever need to go back and watch Michael Keaton as Batman.
It's still a good movie.
It is, but if you were showing someone who knew nothing about Batman, you were going to show them one Batman movie, Batman Begins, or maybe Dark Knight.
Probably
Knight.
Dark Knight. Yeah.
So
Dark Knight was the best.
There was
of the
too
Nolan
much
trilogy.
love interest in the old Batmans.
or it's
With
like
too much Kim Basinger storyline.
or like last year, or was it 2 years ago with Mad Max? Does the new Mad Max now make the old original ones irrelevant because it's better in every conceivable way?
You know, but again, they're kind of different.
Right.
You know, the original Mad Maxes stand differently than the new one.
Okay, so
You know,
it doesn't. There's a room for both of them on your
I think
bookshelf.
there are.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
The second one, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, that's
that's the
best
that's
of
the definitive.
that's the best of the original
Yeah.
trilogy. But I did really like Fury Road
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Fury Road
it-
was
it
amazing.
What do you got there, Mal?
Oh, Utterly Insane says Joker was Jack Napier in the Tim Burton Batman.
Yep.
There we
There
go.
was a Tim Burton Batman?
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
the Michael Keaton ones.
He made
Oh.
Batman and Batman Returns.
I didn't know that.
All right, then up next, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Everyone here see that
Great
one?
movie. Yep, great movie.
Too long.
It was.
That's what my wife
I was
said.
edge of my seat the whole time.
He does a 5-minute car ride to the drive-in movie theater, but it's 10 minutes of scenery that's
Tarantino.
unnecessary.
That's Tarantino.
I know, it's just too drawn out. Like, okay, let's move the storyline. This
I
is
think
beautiful.
I think the point of that
everything.
drive was to really showcase that time period. You know,
Yeah.
you're seeing the sights, 1969 Los Angeles. You know, he's really drawing you into.
I
that
got
time
the
frame.
point.
It's not nostalgic.
You know
to
when
us.
somebody makes a point to you and then they just keep talking and you're like, I fucking got it. You can shut up. All right, I agree with you. That's how I felt in parts of that movie.
Fair enough.
Like, I get
Fair
it.
enough.
Okay, it's beautiful. Let's go.
Quentin Tarantino has yet to let me down.
Okay.
Everything he's done, he's Midas. He's got the golden touch as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
I'm only sad he's not making a Star Trek movie after all.
Oh,
That's dead.
That didn't.
That's so
damn
dead.
It.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a rated R Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarantino.
I didn't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I'm like, this would be great, but it's not going to happen.
No.
So
right.
I love Brad Pitt in it. I thought he was an awesome character. Everything about it, I really enjoyed.
Ending was freaking off the wall.
Yeah.
It was
It
amazing.
The only
Yeah.
thing that I can say about it that was if he's like a lot of young people I don't really know like
No,
Sharon
no,
Tate
no.
and
I'm
all
sure
of
they
that.
don't. No.
So
Molly didn't.
we've talked about this on the past when like historical movies are revisionist or they change things. This is going to confuse young people because
Yeah.
they take movies as gospel
Right.
as
They're
being
gonna think
100%
that's-
historically accurate.
Yeah, my son, he's 25, and he was asking. We watched it at home, and he's like, "Did this really happen? Is that how it happened?"
No.
Yeah, no.
No, that's well, you know,
Other House.
there were no
and-
flamethrowers
Yeah.
involved.
Is that how Hitler died in a murder machine?
So
No.
I mean,
that's-
it's fun to see these historical villains
Mhm.
get beat up. But if you don't know the history and you don't realize they're evil people
Yep.
and they would have otherwise done a horrible, horrible thing and killed a pregnant woman and some other people, you almost feel bad for them as they get their asses handed to them by Brad Pitt
Yep.
and his dog. But other than that, it was great.
All right.
I didn't realize that was what this movie was based on. Like going into it, I didn't realize.
I'd heard about that.
Well, in the title,
going
it's
in.
Once Upon a Time. You know, it's fairy tale. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
That frees you from having to follow history.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like a story about the end of the innocence in Hollywood. Like
Mm-hmm.
before the Manson family murders, Hollywood was all about love, free love, and drugs and just having fun. And then after the Manson family murders, it changed Hollywood. It was just not the same.
So, side question: in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt's character supposedly killed his wife, but we never actually see it. And it's inspired by a real event or a supposed murder. Robert Wagner is still a person
Yep.
of interest in his wife's death on a boat or an island or something.
On a boat,
But
yeah.
do you think his character killed his wife?
Probably, yeah.
Or is
I'm
it
sure.
left ambiguous?
Well, we don't know how she died. I mean, did he shoot her with a harpoon gun?
Well, they cut away
They did, yeah.
like a half a second before you assume he's going to shoot her because
Yep.
his harpoon gun is like resting perfectly into her like torso on camera.
right.
And you're just waiting for it and then cut away.
Yep.
So it's like, huh?
So we don't know how she died.
Did he? So
I don't know.
I think they did that because they didn't want you to turn on him completely.
Yeah.
you wanted to root for him to a degree.
The fight
All right.
between him and Bruce Lee was great too.
I was just gonna say, but they made Bruce Lee look like such a tool.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like-
the Bruce Lee estate was not happy about that. I hear.
No, they weren't.
Because he was a super humble guy in real life, but it served a purpose. It was there because Bruce Lee is legendarily badass martial artist, so it's a great way to establish that Brad Pitt is
Yep.
equally capable in some regards.
Yep.
Because we see him throughout the whole movie proving how awesome he is, jumping up on the roof in no shirt to fix the antenna and driving, weaving between cars.
Mhm.
So. They're building up the character in a visual way, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, another scene that I liked was at Spawn Ranch where Brad Pitt's talking to Bruce Dern, and there's
It's
that
all
tension
that
that's
drawn
building
out.
up. Yeah, that was a great
Like, is
scene.
Bruce going to be in there? How's this going to play out?
Yep. Originally, Burt Reynolds was set to play that part.
I had
Bruce
heard
Dern.
that Brad Pitt's character was loosely based on Burt Reynolds' stuntman.
Mhm.
So
Yep,
yeah.
they wanted Burt Reynolds to play Spawn, but he died before he got a chance to do it. So
tragic.
All right. What else we got there, Mark?
So the next one, which I think is a fun comparison to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is The Irishman,
Okay.
and only because watching, I didn't finish The Irishman. It was too
You
long.
didn't miss anything.
I don't think it deserves to be nominated. I'm sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Chris.
But the
I
movie,
loved it.
the movie had to stop and explain to the kiddies who Jimmy Hoffa was.
Yeah.
Because no one under 35 knows who Jimmy Hoffa is. And I had to compare that to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they make no effort to tell you the actual story or about Sharon Tate. So I thought that was kind of two different interesting approaches to that. How do you approach a topic in a movie that one generation just knows who Jimmy Hoffa is, and that he's not just some cliche mystery man who disappeared. He was involved in the mob and unions, and he probably was offed and buried in concrete somewhere. But so we talked on the de-aging earlier. Didn't bother you guys?
No, I had no problem with it.
I got used
thought
to it
like-
really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the fact that one of Robert De Niro's first biggest roles was playing young Don Corleone in Godfather 2. I couldn't help but draw the comparison in my mind of like he almost got his start playing a younger version of a Marlon Brando,
Right.
and now here he is denying some other actor that opportunity. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm okay with some digital de-aging, but as the whole internet has pointed out, he still shuffles around like
Right.
like an old man. His neck is super thick, his posture he's slumped over, his ears are really big. So there's too many tells that this is happening. If it was a younger actor trying to look like a teenager, like which Avengers movie was it where Robert Downey Jr. was? They did a shot.
Oh, it was Ultron.
Yeah, in Age of Ultron, they showed him as a younger man. That was still a little weird, but less egregious. I think less of a stretch. But I'd still rather
I
see.
think Disney's done a pretty good job with their de-aging for the most part.
I didn't
They're
like
getting
the Carrie Fisher de-aging.
No,
I
well,
thought-
that I take exception to that.
Okay.
But for like, Michael Douglas, they did a good job in The Wasp.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell, they did a really good job in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
thought you were gonna say Tron.
No, not Tron.
Oh, that was Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges.
Well, then you got that Men in Black movie where they just found an actor that looked perfectly like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Brolin to play a
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'd rather just see that. Go find an actor, use a little bit of makeup to make him look more like it.
You didn't
Like,
want Tommy Lee Jones to CGI his
Not really.
younger self?
No, I preferred it.
They
that
did.
way.
Well, what was in Looper? They had Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Yeah, playing a young
play
Bruce
young
Willis.
Bruce Willis, and he did a good job at that too.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
what they should have did. They should have opened it up to a different actor.
Or
Probably would have cost you less too.
Like you can use makeup to cheat someone's age a couple of years, but I mean Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, these guys are getting up there where you can't really cheat them anymore. They can only play old roles now.
Yeah.
It's like they had this new de-aging toy and they wanted to play with it.
That's exactly what it was.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Scorsese likes to be on the cutting
See what
edge.
we can do.
And it's much more impressive than say the de-aging in Tron.
Right.
But it's still in its infancy, and I think it's only going to get better. I don't know if I like the idea of de-aging actors substantially.
Okay.
I'd rather-
I mean, the other movie that came out last year that actually I think did a decent job with de-aging is Captain Marvel with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
black don't crack. I mean, all you got to do is dye his hair black, done.
but
Or it's like Gemini Man with Will Smith, you know?
Yeah,
Just this little black, little shoe polish in that beard, done. He's 15.
It's true.
So the Irishman, it was. I compare it to other movies like There Will Be Blood, where there isn't really a story. You're just following these characters around, and I didn't get engaged enough in the characters to want to keep watching. It wasn't like watching.
It was tough to get
Yeah.
through for me.
Yeah. So I decided
I got really bored at about an hour 45, and then I
That's
saw
when I
there was
stopped.
like 2:15
Yeah.
left.
I got 5 other movies to watch here. Sorry,
Tom's-
universe.
Tom's parents had come over for dinner and they were watching it with us, and his dad was ready to leave, and his mom was like, "Well, this movie's almost over." And Tom pauses it and goes,
No, it ain't.
"Nope."
No, it's not even close. We ain't even halfway.
So they left halfway through the movie.
And Paula, who runs the building here, she's a huge Robert De Niro fan.
Okay.
She was watching this. She got up, did the laundry, emptied the dishwasher, did some other things around the house, sat back down, didn't feel like she missed a thing.
You didn't.
I just
So-
never got really invested into
Yeah.
the characters
There's
personally. It
there's
never
better
pulled me in.
mobster movies.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I thought Al Pacino's performance was like the best thing of that movie.
Yeah.
Like when he wasn't
he's
on
always
screen.
great.
When he wasn't on screen, I was like, yeah, this is kind of boring. But when Al Pacino was, I'm like, yeah, this is. Yeah.
So
it was hard for me to picture him as Jimmy Hoffa,
Well, I mean, yeah.
just because I really like Jack Nicholson's Hoffa, the Danny DeVito
okay.
directed movie where Jack Nicholson played Hoffa. He did a really good job, and he looked like Hoffa. Al Pacino just didn't look anything like Hoffa. It took me a while to get used to it, but yeah, Al Pacino was really good in it.
All right. So you feel it does deserve to be nominated for Best Picture?
I think so. Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
Would you agree? It should be in the field?
I mean, and it's worth talking about, but I don't know if it's the best picture. So I don't know.
It ain't gonna win. It better not win.
I think it's just there because of the Scorsese connection.
Right.
If they do give it to him, it'll be like making up for previous times when they snubbed him.
Right.
I mean, compared to
But
all the other movies that came out, it deserves to be nominated, I think.
All right.
If the de-aging wasn't there and they did different actors or makeup or something, or maybe it was just made
It's
10
cinema,
years ago.
Mark. It's cinema.
There you go, Mark.
I like cinema, but I also
How many
like
you got
comic
left
book
there,
movies.
Mark? You want to save them for the bonus?
I can make it quick.
Okay.
Marriage Story was great. Go see Marriage Story.
That was great.
It's basically an account of how a divorce can out of nowhere unintentionally go evil super fast.
Okay.
A lot of great performances. Ray Liotta is in there. Alan Alda.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern is amazing in it. I think she's up for best
yeah,
supporting.
That one's on Netflix. We can
yeah.
watch it.
Yep.
Adam Driver is an incredible actor. I don't know what they're doing to him in Star Wars.
Yeah, Adam Driver is
Paying him a
amazing.
lot of money.
To
Yeah.
just
Him a
stand
lot
there
of
and
money.
not do anything.
If it wasn't
They're
for
underusing him so much.
if it wasn't for Joaquin Phoenix, Adam Driver would be front runner
Yeah.
for best actor.
So that one's highly recommended. I think that's a good one. Jojo Rabbit was a lot of fun. I don't know if it's Best Picture fun.
Okay.
I was talking before with the guys about it, how I think it's a great movie. It's a topical movie because it's about someone who's literally a Nazi and kind of comes around on it and becomes not a Nazi. And I think that's far more productive in our society than movements like Antifa that just want to punch people.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to make fewer Nazis. That's going to make more Nazis.
Yeah.
So I think Jojo Rabbit was great. It's kind of a dark comedy. I love Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell could read the phone book, and I would say Best Picture actor right there. So, yeah, great movie. And the first half of the movie, his character in each scene is wearing fewer and fewer clothing, and it's becoming more and more unkempt. I was hoping they were going to ride that through all the way to the end and have him be like naked, but they don't, sadly.
Okay.
But it's a great movie about a boy who's writing the definitive guide on Jews in World War II Germany. So it's all the cliche stuff you expect. And he befriends a Jewish girl who is hiding in his attic because his mother is hiding her. So he kind of gets close to her because he's afraid to turn her in because it'll get his mom killed. Okay. But he's like a Nazi youth member. And he has Hitler as an imaginary friend who guides him through these decisions in his life.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And Taika Waititi is the director. He plays Hitler. So it's a fun movie. I don't know if it's Best Picture quality stuff, but it's highly recommended.
Fun movie about Nazis. Yeah. You don't hear that very often.
It's the funnest Hitler movie of the year.
And I wish it went a little further and was even more funny. So Hitler you could have turned his humor up a little more. Okay. So he was a little reserved. Hitler, untapped potential for comedy, just saying. All
right.
Little Women was the other one I didn't finish.
Okay.
My least favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, my wife watched it, and it was her decision to turn it off. She loved the old one with Winona Ryder from the 90s. Now I have to watch that one, she says. Little Women's main problem was they did a lot of time jumps where they only told you about the first one, and then the rest you just kind of have to figure it out contextually. And it happens frequently, and they don't really age the actresses with makeup, so there's really no tells. And if you don't already intimately know the story like my wife does, I'm just sitting there going, wait, I thought she was sick. Now she's sick? What? There's one character who falls through ice, and there's another character who develops a cold at separate points in time, but the movie intersplices those events together, so I'm getting confused as to who did what now.
Okay.
And all the actresses are about the same age. They should be more spread out like a family. That was Susan's other big point of contention, was just not the best casting age-wise. The actresses all did a great job. It was just the movie was edited together confusingly, and it should have made more choices to try to visually spread them out and communicate time jumps.
Okay.
So maybe I'll go back and finish it. Maybe I'll go back and finish The Irishman.
Maybe.
Ford v. Ferrari is a racing movie about Shelby and Christian Bale's character.
Ken Miles.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I loved it. This was my pick for Best Picture until I saw another movie.
Okay.
It's surprisingly entertaining, great cinematography, moves fast. It's kind of an American patriot story because Ford tries to buy Ferrari, and Ferrari refuses and says some mean things because Italian men are fiery.
Yeah.
So that's relayed back to Henry Ford II. So now we're going to kick their butt in racing. We'll make a better car. So, yeah, and the movie's great. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
It would have been Best Picture if it weren't for 1917.
Yep. That's my pick for you, too.
Which is everything I want in a movie.
All right.
It's fun. It's historical. It's accurate. It's presented as one big, long take. They obviously hid cuts in there all over the place, but you have to look for them. And I was looking for them because I knew I'm that guy who wants to know how the magician did it. So
yeah, that's got to get Best Picture and Best Cinematography.
Yeah, it's fun too.
I don't know if it was fun.
I enjoyed just watching initially these guys. You feel like you're there with them because of the way it's filmed.
It was so intense.
Yeah, you feel like you're right there with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
if it's still in the theater, we should make a day to go.
Yeah,
if it wins Best Picture,
we'd be
it'll
robbing
still be
ourselves if we don't see it in the theater. It sounds like.
Yep.
I don't know if you need to see it in the theater, but you need to see it. It's great.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. This is right now my pick for Best Picture.
Yep, mine too.
They used a lot of digital effects, but you don't even realize it. I was watching some behind the scenes stuff on it, and there's entire segments that I'm like, oh, that was completely digital.
Yeah, that's
well done, movie.
That's one of those films that uses a lot of CGI, but you don't notice. They use the CGI well. They use it the right way. It's
beautiful.
It's not overly done.
Parasite, which I knew nothing about going in, I actually ended up really enjoying it. I would describe it as a dark comedy. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah. It's hard to. I mean, that is probably my favorite film of the year.
The first half was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, so it's about this family basically conning another rich family into hiring them all independently.
Wait, what
Not
film
knowing.
was this one?
Parasite. It's
Parasite.
South
Okay.
Korean.
I'm going to give you my quick Uncle Tom's tip. If you go over to the international film category and you see it in Best Picture, that's the winner in international film every year.
Until it's not.
It is every year.
Every year.
Well, there's some people
Every
who
year.
say that foreign films shouldn't be
Nominated.
in the Best Picture category
They're
because,
not going to win Best Picture.
because of what you're saying.
Right.
But
There's a separate category just for that.
Yep.
So
And Universe always double up on sound editing and sound mixing. I can't remember a time when they
I
were
used
different.
I would say that hasn't happened in a long time. Like,
what would split?
yeah, it's split more often than not recently.
Really?
I'm pretty
It's like-
sure the last 2
yeah.
years or something.
For a
it's
long
split.
time, Best Picture and Best Director were usually the same,
Yeah.
but now there have been a lot of split
Splits.
tickets.
Yeah.
So for my Oscar ballot, I have to decide, do I want to double down on one movie or hedge my bets and pick different ones? So, and I don't think there's going to be a Best Picture that isn't also nominated for Best Director. So you can just weed out those
Right.
films.
Yeah. I need 5 films. Like, with this, 9, and 4 of them aren't nominated for Best Director.
So Parasite's great. It's Korean, so it's subtitled. My only problem with it is the ending. The tonally, I felt didn't match. It gets very serious and heavy towards the end.
Well, that's what I liked about it is because like it starts off as one kind of movie and it switches to a different kind of movie and then it switches to a different kind of movie and then it ends and you're like, what the hell? Like it's just like this weird movie that just shifts tones. Like
Yeah.
and I think it does. Well, I mean, I think it does seamlessly because you just kind of like ride this road and it's just
Like I said, I liked the dark comedy parts,
Oh.
the first half so much. I wanted it to keep going.
going.
I didn't
and
want
it,
to
like,
start seeing people die. I
it,
wanted
like,
to see people getting
switches to
exposed.
like a slasher film partway.
Yeah.
towards the end. You're like, what the hell is this?
So
Yeah.
it's a great film, and I highly recommend it. I believe it's playing at Saukville right now, so you could go see it locally.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but it's great.
All right.
And that is the last. The next one I have is Toxic Avenger. We can talk about that one.
Later. We'll get into that one. All right. Let's get into this interview here. You guys don't get to see the questions.
Damn it.
All right. Twisted Dreams. This will be year 5 for you guys?
Year 5.
Year 5. And you keep getting bigger and better every year. Well,
That's our goal.
Let's just go over Twisted Dreams real quick.
All right.
What is it?
Yeah, there you go.
So
For people that don't know.
It's the biggest and best horror film festival in the Midwest.
Excellent. All right.
What
So
else do you need to know?
these
Is
are
it all
independent.
features? Is it
No, it's a mix of features and short films.
This
Is
is going to
there
be
Mixed
the,
bag.
horror comedy, or is it just straight horror?
Horror, comedy, science
Twisted
fiction.
is
As long as
the-
it's twisted. As long as
Okay.
you
Yeah.
as long as you have a weird film.
So yeah, comedy, sci-fi, thriller,
independent horror films. so
independent horror films.
You're not going to have it playing.
I mean,
That was
Well,
we talked about that.
If,
a
if
couple
it
of years.
comes
We talked
with a
about
dump
having-
truck full of money,
yeah, no,
It's on there.
I am not against it.
I would consider it.
Consider it.
Oh, all right. So every year you've been making it bigger and better, and it's been getting really awesome. What's going on this year?
more of the same, only bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
Have you announced any guests yet?
Yeah, we announced 2. Lloyd Kaufman
Okay.
and Bill Rebane.
Okay. Why don't you tell the audience about Lloyd
Bill-
Kaufman and Bill Rebane?
Well, Lloyd Kaufman is Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah.
Toxic
Legendary.
Avenger.
Toxic Avenger.
Mr. Trauma.
Yep, Mr. Trauma.
Mhm.
Bill Rebane is a Wisconsin area filmmaker. He's made the Giant Spider Invasion, The Capture of Bigfoot, and Blood Harvest. He's actually going to get our Backbone of Wisconsin Horror Award this year.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome.
And he's bringing along a 2.5 hour, was it 2.5 hours?
About 2.5
Two
hours.
and a half hour long director's cut of Blood Harvest,
Blood Harvest.
starring Tiny Tim as a clown.
Wow. That sounds awesome.
Very cool.
So what? Last year you had Joe Bob Briggs. How Redneck Saved Hollywood. What's going to be the big main event this year?
Lloyd Kaufman.
Like
Lloyd
Oh, yeah,
Kaufman.
we're gonna have something with Lloyd Kaufman. We're just not sure. We're gonna put together a show for him.
Some sort of a seminar he can give?
Well, it's gonna be like probably not more like a just introduction or presenting like a trauma film
Okay.
I don't
Q&A,
see
maybe?
Lloyd Kaufman being able to sit still and talk for
for an hour.
Speak
And
for
a
an hour.
He does do like a filmmaking seminar.
Okay,
You know, I don't know if we're gonna do anything like that, but
because he's so high energy. I just can't see him standing there like Joe Bob going through the
Right.
things. Like he's got to at least throw blood on somebody or something.
Yeah.
Some bubbling toxic goo.
Right.
Yeah, he's very obsessed with toxic waste.
Well, that was
That
the
was probably that era.
the
at
Toxic
the time.
Avenger was it 84?
That came out in the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s. So that was
yeah.
kind of the height of the
Chernobyl.
toxic scare and all that kind of
Chernobyl
stuff.
and-
Because I'm going to be that guy. It's not how radiation works. But that's okay. It's a fun movie.
No, he's over the
The
top.
trauma movies are over the top. They're fun. They're ridiculous. You have to watch them in a group. Don't sit down by yourself to watch Toxic Avenger. Go see it in a theater with 100 other people. You'll
Yep.
have the time of your life.
So how long till you're going to need a full-on staff to keep this thing going?
Oh, we're pretty much there right now.
it's,
Yeah.
it's getting like it's like very stressful right now. So yeah, we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, what
to
are you getting stressed out about? What's
Just-
what
we
are you
have-
running into?
Hundreds of hours worth of films to go through still, and,
Yeah.
and put
And
that,
that's not
watch it, put that
even
together.
anything about putting the festival together. That's just watching the film.
right?
Just
so-
curating.
yeah,
Yeah.
just going through trying to figure out what are the best ones, what's going to fit, and stuff like that. So
So you have those. Last year you had blocks of shorts.
yes,
So you guys are the ones who organize and choose which block goes
Yes.
where and which movie goes where and which block.
And
Yes.
it's just the two of you doing all
That's
that.
a lot
Yes.
of work because there's like there could be like 15 shorts,
right. And that's just the 15 shorts we
and
select.
that's just one block.
Yeah.
There's like 5 more blocks.
I mean, and that's just the ones we select. You know, we got like over 200 submissions this year. So
Wow.
I think we have well over like 130 hours worth of
Yeah.
films.
So what are you looking for? What do you want to see?
Quality, good story, good direction, good actors, good editing, good sound. You know, we don't want to put in home movies. We want to put you
Okay.
know, films.
I was really impressed last year with the selection and the movies that came through. They were really good.
There was a good range too because there were some that were more like trauma movies that felt more like crowd pleasers, and there were more that were like serious movies that Straight Edge Kegger, of course, I loved and could be remade into a Hollywood movie today. And I still feel that way. So
but I mean, that's what we want to do, and showcase directors that aren't getting like a lot of recognition,
up and
just
coming.
up and
Yeah.
coming, hopefully directors. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's hard trying to go through like there's certain movies I love, and I'm like, it's just I love this movie, but maybe not going to fit the festival or.
But I've already got a bunch of really good sci-fi horror movies.
I know
so-
exactly. So it's a really tough process just to go through and try to figure out which ones are
I
going to
believe
fit.
that would be a nightmare because you only have 4 days.
Right.
So you got to fill these blocks and other times, and making time. It's not just they're not just showing movies. They do a lot of breakaway sessions with Wisconsin filmmakers. Or what are some of the breakaways you got going on this year?
We're still thinking about panels. We're hopefully going to have 2 panels. Definitely going to have the Spook Show. I'm really amping that up. We've got a funeral home that sponsors us.
Nice.
Bruskowitz Funeral Home, and they loved it last year. They had a blast, and they're like, let's do something bigger next year. And I'm like, my wheels were turning, and I thought, let's do a full-on funeral procession. So our Spook Show magician is gonna be in a casket, and they're gonna have pallbearers bring them up to the front of the theater.
Nice.
And,
Yeah, very cool.
they said, we'll bring in some caskets and put them up at the side of the stage. We'll bring in our gurney where they take the dead bodies, and they got some body bags. And we're going to have nurses and scrubs in case anybody dies of a heart attack or fright. So we're amping it up. Every year we amp it up a little bit
very
more.
cool.
So how do people buy tickets? You got a bunch of different ways you can purchase tickets.
Well, right now we don't have any tickets.
Not for sale, but
Right now, no.
if somebody
Right now.
is like, I'm really into Space Monsters, and you have a Space Monster short block,
Right.
they can just buy that.
They can buy, so there's lots of options. So you can buy for a specific film, a specific block of shorts. And then you can buy like a weekend pass. You're there, all 4 days, or daily passes.
That's your nightmare pass.
Oh, nightmare pass.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, gets you into everything for the 4 days.
Where do people go if they want to follow and like if they're interested in going this year, just to see when the tickets are available and what it's going to be.
Follow
when.
us on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's make all of our
And
announcements on
that's
Facebook.
Milwaukee's Twisted Dreams.
Milwaukee Twisted Dreams Film Festival.
Yep.
Do you guys gonna have shirts this year?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely gonna have shirts this year.
You got a special drink coming this year?
I hope so. I don't know. That was a surprise last year. The theater
that
just
green-
I told
Dr.
them. I
Jekyll
told them to do
thing?
that. I told them to
Like,
come
that
up with a
was good.
special drink. I asked them to come up with like a special pizza and a special drink. They came up with the drink, but not the pizza.
Yeah,
so-
remember, Universe, at the Twisted Dreams Film Festival, you get to drink if you want there.
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's
The theater
alcohol
serves
being served.
alcohol.
There's a bar there. Yeah.
Yeah. Our first year there was no alcohol, and everyone was like, "No, you have to have alcohol."
Yeah.
Like, all right. We're back better.
Everybody gets like one beer.
One beer coupon.
Yeah. So your special performances, we're gonna have Lloyd Kaufman, Spook Show. Any band again this year? Or?
Yeah, I've got a couple bands that have expressed interest. They've messaged me asking, what's up with the bands, and we're not quite sure yet if we're going to have a band at the opening night party or where it's going to be, but definitely bands are interested in playing.
You gonna have any podcasts there this year?
No,
no.
we're not going to have any podcasts this year.
We did it
It
one
was a
year.
problem
Just
last
didn't work
year.
out.
Didn't work out.
They
We tried it, it
Pissed off
sucked.
our guests.
They were
and-
really difficult.
Took too much space.
No, I don't know if they're kidding or not.
No, we'd love to have you guys back.
Oh, all right, we'll be there. Mark had.
I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the first time I seen Mark have fun.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing this podcast for how many years?
Yes. The first time I seen him smile.
Oh, wow.
Do it, yeah. Being at the show because I didn't know what to expect, and I ended up really enjoying it. So now I'm highly recommending it to people personally.
Good.
Me
Yes.
personally,
Yeah.
because when Tom first pitched to me, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll go like one day, watch like one movie. And last year I ended up being there every day. I saw the Joe Bob the keynote and everything, so it's like this is great. I'm gonna do it every day next year if I can.
I think everyone should check it out. It's definitely
So
an
do I.
experience that
Yeah.
I mean,
Put in your
I
vacation
enjoyed
days.
it thoroughly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
get a
definitely.
babysitter lined up for the whole weekend.
Right.
And
And
it'll
I
be a
was-
little later in April too, so even warmer and better.
Right.
I was so
God, we
impressed
hope. We
by-
haven't had much of a winter in Milwaukee, so I hope we don't get our winter in April.
Oh, jeez. I was so impressed by the Wisconsin films talent.
Yeah, that
Like, because you had just a Wisconsin short block and a
Right.
Wisconsin block, and I mean, geez.
Yeah,
had
there's
some
a lot of-
talented
there's a lot of
filmmakers in
talent.
Wisconsin.
that was.
Are you done accepting
Yes.
submissions?
Yes, we're done.
Okay.
So just.
Yeah, they sound a little stressed. I think they're not going to take it.
Well, that dump truck shows up.
There's.
Would you mind watching It 3? We want to showcase it at Twisted Dream.
Yeah, no. Every year after the deadline, it's like, can we submit? I'm like, no.
Next year.
Yeah,
next
we
year.
took one late one this year, and it ended up being an amazing short film. So that one that I really want to program, but no, we don't like taking in late submissions.
Okay.
Understandable.
So you a good way to see these movies on the discount would probably be volunteers you're looking for, correct?
Yeah, that's always a good way. Volunteers
As
get
long
in.
as you're reliable when you show up when you say you're going to show up.
What kind of things do you need volunteers to do?
Mostly,
Audience folks, right?
yeah,
Collecting the ballots?
ballots, taking tickets. Making sure everyone that's going into the theater has a ticket or a pass. Or
If you show up, trust me, there'll be something to do.
That's always-
There's
Have all
a-
your judges set yet?
well, almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Arlene Sen says, Wisconsin, it's Wisconsin. Give it 5 minutes and it changes. Mother Nature still hasn't taken her
Yep.
bipolar meds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
it's
had a
insane.
blizzard a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Mark can post this at the Rivoli, maybe for volunteers, because that whole theater is volunteers.
I have a lot of little old ladies at the Rivoli who
We'll take them.
We'll take them, yeah.
They don't have to watch.
I don't know about this horror stuff.
They don't have to watch the movies. They just need to stand out there. Like my dad came last year. He hates movies. And like there's Laura, I'm like, well, I don't need you to watch it. I just need you
know
to
a lot of
stand there.
people that hate movies.
Yeah, we do.
So are you guys coming to that chamber luncheon at all? Anybody? Gonna make it?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think I can.
What's this?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Well, then don't bring it up on the air, sir.
It's just
Now the audience is like, yeah, what are they talking about?
It's Chamber of Commerce. We were gonna
Grafton.
Grafton Chamber
Yeah,
of
not
Commerce.
Milwaukee.
We are going to push the film festival there to the rich people.
Oh, okay, sure.
Try to get
Utterly
some
Insane
sponsors.
says they used to do volunteer security and still has his badges, he says.
There you go.
He needs security.
Contact us.
All right. Yeah.
We use our little Jewish friend for security at all of our events. He's been on the show plenty of times. He's
Ian?
5'4", 120 pounds, soaking wet, and is basically deaf and legally blind. So
All right.
we put security hat and shirt on him and set him in.
As scary as it is, I have thought about having security at the festival. You got to have,
Yeah.
in this day
Just
and
the
age.
presence to let
Right.
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
know, not
that
mess
alone,
around.
will let
Right.
people who maybe they have a few too many
I
drinks
was going to say,
and might start to
especially-
think they're going to get funny.
Mhm.
You know.
Especially when you mix alcohol with.
Yeah.
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 No, everybody was great last year. That was not
It was
a
great.
problem.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've had a lot. Every year it's been no problems. So
Excellent. So where should we find all the Twisted Dream stuff? Where can we-
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook, yeah. We have a website, twisteddreamsff.com. We don't update it too much, but
When tickets are for sale, they'll be for sale there at the website.
There'll be links.
Yeah.
Links? Okay.
On Facebook, on the website.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
We're not sure how we're going to sell tickets yet. this
Gotcha.
year. Steve's so indecisive. Every
Yeah.
year we change.
Well,
It's-
Tom tried the
Event,
ticket
right.
sales thing for our stand-up night, and there were things we liked about it and things we didn't like about
Right.
it. So there's always
It was
Right.
easier, but they took it
they took a bigger piece of the pie, but it
a
was
few
really,
times through the process.
Oh,
It was
really?
fine.
but they were really
It cost
great
money
for,
to use it. It cost money for the people. It cost money from us, and then to get our money, we had
For
to pay
processing, yeah.
like $400 to
Oh, wow.
get on a $2,200 check. I think that was obnoxious after we've
Yeah.
already given them money twice. So I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
recommend Eventbrite, people. Don't.
No.
Well, Susan loved the interface. She said it worked perfectly.
It better.
You just paid. You paid a premium price. You got premium
We
product.
did everything for charity, and I think they took like 35% off of what we could have made.
Wow.
Wow.
All-
That's a lot.
That's a big matzo ball.
You
for
learn as you
charity.
go. Yep, you do.
Could have bought a lot of crayons for the North Shore Academy yards with that money.
Yeah, that's how much they took. So, you guys still doing Milwaukee Movie Talk?
It's kind of been on hiatus.
The Facebook page, yeah. I post a lot on the Facebook page.
Okay. A little bit, but you guys are a little busy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now it's busy, yeah.
So, did you want to get into any of the Drunk in the Dead that you're going to be doing?
We can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit. You don't anything you don't want to say. Obviously, don't.
Obviously, say it.
Drunk in the Dead.
So you're producing, directing. What is this?
Producing.
It's a zombie movie.
Yeah, we're crewing up right now. We've got TC DeWitt directing, myself and Chad Halverson producing, and
Okay.
John Klein is the cinematographer. These are all local filmmakers that are based in LA, but they're from Milwaukee.
Oh, cool.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, these are just amazing filmmakers, and it's really shaping up. Like we're getting a serious budget for it, so we got to treat this as a business. You know, this is going to give jobs to people here in Milwaukee. So,
Is there an elevator pitch you can give us?
it's a real Milwaukee story. It's about a bartender that's trying to protect his bar and his friends from the zombie invasion.
Okay, sure.
There you go.
So,
What more do you want?
Is it going to be straight horror? Is it going to be comedy?
horror comedy,
mix?
definitely
Okay.
horror comedy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You shooting for next year's festivals?
We're going to start shooting it in probably winter 2020 for a 2021 release.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
Awesome. Steve, you still blogging? Are you still the film bully?
No, I haven't blogged in a long time.
Steve changed his name
And then
on
Chris
Twitter,
took it.
and I said, that's a great name. We came up with that name together. I said, that's a great name. If you ever lose that name, I'm taking it. So I took it.
Yeah.
So I'm now the film bully on Twitter.
That's how you take. That's what a bully does.
Bullies
Right,
takes what he
yeah.
wants.
Just takes what he
Thank you.
wants.
Thank you.
No.
You doing a lot of game streaming still, Chris?
Yeah. I've taken a hiatus because of Twisted Dreams, but I still want to get back to it and get that on a regular schedule. I really enjoy it.
And that's Arthritic Zombie. If you want to follow him.
Yep.
Do you ever do like an audience reaction cam at the festivals?
No, that's a good idea though.
Be
I
fun.
never thought of that.
Oh, Molly, right there.
Yeah.
Is that black? Is that a night vision?
I'm sure Chris has nice cameras
I've got
as
a
well.
night vision
He's
camera,
got
too.
it.
There we
Yeah,
go.
nice vision camera.
Put that up
Yeah.
in the corner. You can make a gag reel of people throwing their popcorn.
I want to see Lloyd Kaufman do some sort of crazy, like, you need to wear stuff like you're at a Gallagher show. Tarps and everything.
He's bringing his Toxic Avenger costume, and he asked us if we had somebody that would volunteer to be the Toxic Avenger.
Tom, you're a big guy.
Ooh.
I'm not tall enough. I'm only like
Well, I said that
5'10",
I was going to be the Toxic Avenger, and I'm
There you
only
go.
5'7". So if you want to be the Toxic Avenger, you
I think he had
That's
lifts on his
awesome.
shoes, so we can put some lifts in your shoes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I don't know. What did he wear boots?
I think he had like an inch lifts on his
Okay.
shoes. As I was watching the movie, I'm like,
I'll have to
'Cause he's a big
practice
guy.
my.
and I'm looking at him like, is
I
he
don't
that
know
tall?
what the costume entails. I'm sure it's like a little
A-
pink tutu
It's
and
a
a
stage
mask.
tutu.
And,
Yeah.
But I got to get that voice that doesn't fit the monster.
Yeah.
That is just hilarious.
It's okay, officer. I'm here to help.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming.
All right.
Thank you so much. We're gonna do a quick speed rail before we wrap this one up.
All right.
Brady, Patriots offer Brady over $30 million or dollars.
30 million years.
30 million
That's a
years.
contract.
That's contract. There's a new way Siri has been spying. Family moved to a Spanish-speaking sector of Oakland, and the contractor husband does a lot of work in Spanish.
Sure.
So magically, all the ads came in Spanish, even though the language was set to English.
Huh. Well, a geolocation, sure. It's always targeting.
Yeah.
It's always trying to figure out geographically, demographically who you are,
All right.
where you are,
We
how
got
to
some
best serve you.
Super Bowl ads. J-Lo's getting crap for nepotism when she had her 11-year-old daughter sing during the halftime show.
Halftime show was okay.
It was
I
her
liked it.
halftime.
Kind of
Yeah,
boring.
I've been saying, I don't know. What-
Any highlights? Any favorite commercials you guys saw at the Super Bowl? Anyone
I like
watch?
this one that Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I was
Jason
gonna say
Momoa
the
was a
Jason
great
Momoa
one.
That
was
one
good.
made me laugh.
He is getting
so
crap
hard
for his deeply unsettling Super Bowl ad.
Why? That's amazing.
It was funny.
I love an actor who can make fun of himself that way and not take himself so seriously that he's
Somebody-
willing to look like a scrawny weakling.
Yeah, somebody posted a Photoshop of the Aquaman poster of him and like the
Yeah,
bald
right.
head and
That
skinny
was
arms.
awesome. And
Yeah.
they said it was deeply unsettling.
Oh,
No,
I
it
loved
wasn't.
Ripping-
I like the Bill Murray one too.
Yeah, that
Groundhog Day.
Mumbai police have solved people honking at red lights problems. I guess it's a problem that people honk at red lights.
Does the light go faster if you
I
honk?
say, why are people honking at red lights? What
There's
is
a
it?
timer, and it has a noise, something that detects noise.
Sure.
And if you honk, it resets the timer.
Really?
Oh, so
and
it's
you
a
are sitting there longer. Yeah.
That's a jerk move, municipality.
Well, then people stop honking because.
How do they know if some people honking the other way?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe-
people going through the green light honking.
Yeah,
as
maybe-
they're going through
yeah,
the green
they're
light.
honking
I
'cause
do
the
that.
Or they're
people in
coming
line are
up on a
getting
yellow
impatient.
light and they honk, so it goes back to green.
Yeah.
All right. New study shows that men who own Mercedes and BMWs are more likely to be self-centered assholes.
Oh, really?
That's-
Yeah.
Do they have large penises too?
No correlation for women owning these cars. They're just
It's because their husbands own
Do
them.
women own any of those kind of cars?
I'm
I don't
sure
think
they do.
women have the vanity that men have, especially
The
after
midlife
middle age.
crisis,
Yeah,
yeah.
the midlife crisis.
Turbo Kid has a sequel coming out.
Nice. I
Heard
love
that.
Turbo Kid.
Look at Molly here. She put her fists up like Rocky.
I
Better
love
better
that
yet,
movie.
the Kung Fury feature film is coming along nicely
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
really? Very
That
cool.
I'm looking forward to.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So,
Sweet.
speaking of Canada, they have now restricted the number of eggs you can bring across the border to 30 dozen.
Oh, wow.
What?
The question is, who's bringing 30 dozen eggs across the border?
Well, yeah, that's okay. 30 dozen and one eggs.
They're bringing eggs to Canada?
Yeah. I don't know why they put the restriction. I just thought it was hilarious.
Well,
that they-
there's probably some sort of egg importer exporter who's trying to shut down the little guy from muscling in on his business.
I guess that's to be it.
It's an agricultural product. You're moving it
I
across
guess.
state lines, country lines.
Pizza-related ER visits are up 150% this year.
Like
Pizza
indigestion?
related?
Emergency room visits taken by the word pizza being included in doctor's notes.
Huh.
So,
I don't think I've seen any pizza-related injury in my ER.
Now
that I
I
work
want to
at.
know what
Well-
the pizza-related injuries were.
Could be mouth burns. Could be
one
just-
of them said a lady slipped on a bread knife while holding a box of pizza and burned herself.
Who cuts a pizza with the bread knife?
How is she slipping on it? It's on the floor?
Yeah, if it's on the
America,
floor. Yeah.
America wants to know.
Maybe her cat knocked it off.
Yeah.
I'm-
Damn cats.
Yeah.
Dunkaroos are coming back.
Yeah, but they don't look the
Dunkaroo?
same.
It's like a kangaroo that you dip in the frosting and eat.
Oh,
It's an old
okay,
snack.
sure.
People are stoked, but I think they're going to be too sweet. If you remember, as a kid, you could just eat frosting, like a whole jar of it. And then
As,
that
what do
would
you mean
be-
as a kid? I do
as-
that today.
I
Plus-
can't do it. It's torture. I don't even like frosting on my cake anymore.
Nothing they bring back tastes the same because it's all, yeah.
Kirk Douglas
All right,
dies.
Molly, can I have your frosting then?
Yeah.
Okay,
Kirk
sure.
Douglas dies at 103.
I wish I would have lived to be 103. That'd be awesome.
All right. And actor Orson Bean died today at 91.
Who's Orson Bean?
He's an actor.
Thanks,
That's
Tom.
like-
I
saw that
had
he
it. I
got
just I thought you guys
It's
would know
gone.
it.
It's gone.
He was hit by a car.
Oh,
Walking.
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How old
91,
I think
that's
at
how he
91.
dies.
Yeah, he was walking and got clipped by a car.
Wow.
So
91, just stay in the house.
Look both ways, universe.
yeah, it's time. So
Wait for the light.
all right. Well, that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for coming.
All right.
Thank you for rocking this with us. Mark, where can they find us? Be sure to go to our website, use our Amazon link, go to Patreon, do what you got to do. What Molly's laughing at a comment.
Do
Oh.
all those things.
Utterly Insane says, I'm immortal. I'm going to live forever as a vampire.
We've talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I've seriously thought about if I lived forever, the logistics of that. Like, how long would you have to work to make enough money to live off the interest forever? Or how long would it take you to, let's say you were like a medieval vampire, to climb the rungs of society and now become some sort of an aristocrat vampire? Like, how long would that
Plus,
take?
then you'd have to change it up because you you'd get suspicion if you never aged.
Yeah, you'd have to move every 50 years or so.
And what kind of vampire? Is it the vampire that can't be out in the sun? 'Cause I don't know if I'd want to live forever never being able to go in the sun.
According to your complexion, that's not a problem for you.
Oh, I tan real nice in the summer. It's been
Move
winter.
to Seattle like in
This
Twilight.
is my winter skin.
So your questions are more of the biological side of vampires, and I'm more of the economical side of living
Molly,
forever.
it looks like you fell in the Lake Michigan in August, and we pulled you out today.
So, Molly, if there were vampires and you hated them because you're human, you were on Team Human, you become a vampire, do you immediately switch sides? Or do you go all like Blade on us and
Ooh.
stay on the human side?
Blade was badass. I would love to be the Blade. Yeah. Oh, Utterly Insane just said I'm like a Blade a daywalker. So yeah, that's what I would be.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
So we are off the rails. He is Tom. I am Mark, and we are on the internet. Key phrase off the rails TM. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our website, or email us offtherailstm@gmail.com. Maybe you saw a funny story. Maybe you're just bored. You want to talk. Maybe you want to be on the show. That's how you contact us.
Follow Twisted Dreams.
Follow Twisted Dreams. Go see the festival. You'll have a great time.
It will not let you down.
No.
It's
it won't.
awesome.
Yep.
And
We are all over the internet on SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. We are there.
And we will be posting pictures because this will be out on Tuesday, but we're going to show you all of our Oscar ballots. And remember, universe, we're not good enough.
Thanks for tuning in, universe.